Welcome back to Industry Voice by OCT Clinical. Today, we will be interviewing an expert from one of the best biopharma companies in Russia, according to the Forbes magazine. Nanolek is a dynamic biopharmaceutical company with an impressive product portfolio of innovative treatment solutions. Please meet Maxim Stetsyuk, Deputy General Manager, Director of Vaccine Division. Maxim, thank you very much for having us today.
Thank you for your time.
So I would like to start with an elephant in the room, the COVID-19 pandemic. So how is pharma coping with COVID-19 today, and what are the major challenges associated with it?
Yeah, that's a good question, because last year was one of the difficult years for pharmaceutical industry. So we have to find new solutions for pandemic situation, and especially that companies who work in vaccination, for example, or in treatment of special disease, because medical society and governments of other countries were waiting for a new treatment for new disease. And so our company also was one of the company who was looking for that solution. Not yet, but we're waiting for. And once again, we spent a lot of efforts for that, and a lot of companies spend a lot of efforts for that. And I believe that's not only a pharmaceutical issue, it's also a medical issue. So we faced with new environment, new approach to treat, and so a lot of changes in different areas of regulations, treatment, pharmaceutical industry was in last year. So, and I think also some other changes will be next year, because we have to make some conclusions from that situation.
And do you think there is a way to plan for the next pandemic, so to speak?
Yes, of course. First of all, I think that the first question, how we work to prevent such kind of situation. So this question not only to pharmaceutical industry, but also to government, how they're going to manage such kind of situation in the future. So how information going to bring from one country to another country, and that's the key question. So as you know, there were some interviews, for example, with Bill Gates, who several years ago that such kind of situation going to be in the world, and we faced this, and this is not a magic, this is a reality, and we have to find some solution how to work with this. Secondly, there is some changes in medical regulations, how fast we can bring a new treatment to the patients, how fast we can develop a new product. Do we have enough knowledge, our scientists, and where is these centers of scientific research where we can find these new drugs, new treatments? That's the question.
Yes, and that is definitely some food for thought. And now let's talk about future a little more. Are there any new technologies or trends that are likely to change the industry in the next 5 to 10 years?
That's for sure, that we're going to face with the new technologies and new approach in the next 5 to 10 years. And we see that now a lot of new products coming from, I would say, RDNA technology. This working with gene therapy or some biological products. So, and my personal view on that in next 5 to 10 years, the pharmaceutical industry going to invent new products in this area, in biological area. So, and a second approach, I think that it will be like a personal treatment, So the drug will be developed for personality, for one person or for a group of persons. Nowadays we can say that this is like an orphan disease, but in the future it will be like a standard. Like, I believe you heard something about CAR-T technology. This technology means that you produce treatment for one person, and the like a little farm or little factory installed in the medical in the hospital. So and you can produce the pills or the drug for one person. So that's the way where the pharmaceutical industry is going to.
And let's see how it turns out at the end. And now back to the present. So what are the major challenges for a pharmaceutical company when expanding to a new market?
Good question, and a very important question, especially for Russian companies, because, during the last several years we talk a lot about export markets, and because first of all this approach brings currency to Russia, to the Russian government, and of course, being in the pharmaceutical industry, we also would like to expand our sales, our products to other markets. And I think that first of all, you should think what you're going to bring to another market, and to do that, you should make some research to understand market potentials. If you're a regional company, so then for sure you need to prove and persuade medical society in another country that they can use your new drug for new treatment, and this is not an easy deal. So our company works a lot with international companies, also with some R&D companies from South Korea and other countries, and their approach not to go to other markets by themselves, but to find a partner in another country. That's because you will meet a lot of obstacles in that countries, and it's better to work with partner to understand better that market. That's the first deal. Second deal, this I'd say that the issue to get registration, to get market authorization, we see different approach in different markets. For example, in Europe or in USA or in Eastern markets, there are a different approach, and you should have enough knowledge, enough energy to create dossier for that market, to be approved for that market, which is also a very difficult deal, I would say. And third one, so if you're regional, I said that's one deal. If you're a generic company, that's another deal. Are you going to work on the market where is other companies from India, from China already presented their products, and are you ready for price pressure? So, okay. So, but first of all, you should be prepared for this penetration, to make a good market research, to understand what you're going to do on that market. And do you going to make it by yourself, or it's better to find a good partner on that market?
And if we move further into clinical development stage, what is the main criteria for a pharma when selecting a CRO?
Clinical development, one of the interesting and most famous question in the pharmaceutical industry. Of course, everybody wants to use a product which proved for effectiveness of the treatment. So, and I would say that there are three major parameters to select CRO. The first one, this expert evaluation, because you should find CRO which work on in-depth nosology, and this is very important. So second one, this a timeline, and third one, of course, the cost of clinical trials, because of course pharmaceutical companies would like to spend as less as possible for clinical trials, and do it as fast as possible. But on the other hand, you should prove the effectiveness of the treatment, and as good CRO planning their activities, as better result you will get in the end. So in this case, of course, we use tender approach. We select minimum 3 CRO in our usual work, but our final evaluation coming from expert evaluation. So we have several parameters where our experts check the mark for each parameter, and in the end, not only cost bring the final decision. As I said, 3 major parameters for CRO selection.
Thank you, Maxim. And now I would like to talk about your company in particular. So what has been the most significant development in Nanolek's history and why?
First of all, I'm very proud that I'm working in Nanolek for the last 3 years. And our company is a pretty young company on the market. We established our company in 2011. And now this year we're going to celebrate 10 years of the company, and we're one of the fastest growing company on the market. We have in our strategy, first of all, this vaccine industry development, and I think that vaccination is a great approach to prevent our society from diseases. And I think that's one of the major directions for pharmaceutical market development. That's, I would say, one of the answers for your first question. And so in this area, we did a great job. So first of all, we bring to the Russian market 5-valent vaccine named Pentaxim. We did this project with our partner, Sanofi Aventis. And we did this project in frame of Pharma 2020. That was a very famous project of our government. And first of all, we bring to Russian pharmaceutical market some knowledge and skills, and we already can produce I would say, we can produce quality, we can produce in time, we can bring a good product which prevent some diseases. And one of them are our famous project, so this is an activated poliomyelitis vaccine. We bring this product in 2015 to Russian market, and at that time it was like 50% of deficit in the world of that vaccine. And Russia, one of the country in the world which can use this vaccine in our national immunization program. So, and as you know, poliomyelitis it's very dangerous disease. And it's great that in Russian national immunization program we have this vaccine. We also started some clinical trials for human papilloma virus vaccine. So this is also a very famous vaccine in the world. And this year our government announced Russian immunization program. So how we will develop this national immunization program. And in next 10 years we're going to produce a lot of local vaccine, which is very, I would say, challenge for Nanolek, but I believe so we will do everything to win in this field. So, and our second strategy, this rare disease or some specialty care. So we work in the field of orphan disease and multiple sclerosis and oncology drugs. So we have team in the field. So I would say that currently maybe it looks like nothing special, but we're going to produce in the future some original drugs in this area And now we are in the process to get some expertise from the market to understand how to bring new innovative drugs in this field.
So that would be all for today. I'm sure our audience will learn a lot from this episode, and I want to wish good luck to the whole Nanolek team with its further research.
Yeah, thank you very much, Anna. So we are open for any partnership with other companies. So we are very young and very, let's say, looking forward team. So and very open for new developments. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching. If you would like to be our next guest speaker, reach out. You can find the right email in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe.